Good morning. Question. What brings you joy? And no, it does not have to be anything huge or expensive. Steve and I will be back in 30 seconds. Good morning. I don't want to overwhelm anyone first thing in the morning. Good morning, Steve. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm fine.
Good. Good. I understand you have a nice, what is it, like one of those sporty type drinks. That's
Uh,
very good.
oh, was that all? Just Powerade.
Oh, that's good. Well, coffee is my Powerade.
No, somebody you haven't been sick. I have.
That could always change in a moment. So no, I know. And how are you feeling before we get into everything? How's your ear?
You're
How are you
you're
doing?
shushing me, but I have a slight off and on pain in my left ear. But I'm doing this. It
I
comes in.
know, and that's why I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Anyway, hope that everyone finds this video doing well. I know it's very early in the morning. Thank you for being here. If you're with us live, nice to see you if you are here. And if not, there's always playback. Steve, I wanted to talk today about something that I got kind of fed up yesterday. And you probably don't know what I mean because you were busy doing other stuff, whatever. But I had the, information on that we call news. It was just too much. And this is why I really recommend that we, as much as we need certain information in life, just don't have too much of that information. I want to stay in the joy of the current season that I'm in. I want to stay in the joy of the moment of now. I bet there's a bunch of people out there that are in agreement with this. Steve, I have a tiny question for you.
Mhm.
First, actually, it's a statement. Then I'll ask you the question. You will never believe what I have for breakfast today. I didn't even mention it to you. Did you ever eat crazy stuff for breakfast? Like things that most people wouldn't think of eating for breakfast? Well, you know what I had? I must have protein in the morning. If some people can do just fine on like carbs kind of thing, and God bless you, God keep you, not me. I'm not one of those carbaholic type people. I have to have protein. And usually the protein is in the form of an egg. But I ran low on eggs and I want to not lose them all because, I might need some for baking this weekend. So I said, well, you're going to have to forfeit your eggs till you get to the grocery store. Do you know what I have for breakfast? True story. I boiled me up a Frankfurter at 4 o'clock, no, 4:30 in the morning. And I was laughing to myself thinking, who the heck else does something like this at this unearthly hour? But I'm a morning person, Steve, so I guess it's not that weird. Do you think that that's strange having something like that for breakfast?
As far as I'm concerned, you can have any food of any food group for whatever meal you want. Because when you look at the packaging, does it say Sabret Frankfurter or
That's
Nathan's?
the point I had.
Does it say for breakfast only? No, you can have it whenever you want. That's how I look at it. So
I
it doesn't.
agree.
Yeah.
I agree because I'm thinking about something. Who writes the rules and regulations for appetites? For example, what is the really big difference? People eat breakfast link sausage.
Yeah.
People eat sausage patties.
Right.
And that's precisely what we're really going to get into today. We're going to get into the things that bring people in general, give them joy throughout the day or throughout the year or at specific times of the year. I felt that by like hanging out a little too long with the current events is stealing from my joy. It doesn't change the circumstances. So for me to just sit there and hear the same thing over and over again, I mean, I know I have some people that I know in my life that I know are definitely being affected by this. I'm going to look in the camera. Well, I hope I'm looking at you. Turn that stuff off for a while. It's okay. It is not going to change things. Live your life. Be happy. Stay in the moment of right now. Now we're going to switch gears. Okay. Well, I asked the question, what brings you guys everyday joy? What brings you guys holiday joy? No matter what holiday you may celebrate, because not everybody celebrates the same holidays. But when you have a specific favorite holiday that's important in your life, what brings you joy during your holiday? Steve, you want to know what brings me joy during a holiday? I love to bake. All of a sudden, I'm a baker, even though I'm a lousy baker. No, I'm not a lousy baker. I'm an okay baker.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not an expert baker, but I find it very relaxing. Preparing, cookies as gifts for people, things of that nature. You've been known to make a few delicious cookies or two during the holidays. Am I right?
At one time when my situation was different and I actually had a decent sized kitchen that I could work in. Peanut butter cookies, yes. Oatmeal raisin cookies, that anybody can do. All you have to do is buy a box, a container of Quaker oats. I like the old fashioned, but you can do the quick one just as well. Underneath the bottom of the lid, there's a cookie recipe. Do that, but you can. But I got creative. I got to where I would put white chocolate chips in it or
Wow.
chocolate chips and things like that. I also use that same basic cookie batter as the peanut butter. All you're doing is leaving out certain things and you just add the peanut butter.
Oh, I
And it,
like that idea. So basically, you're using like certain batters of cookie batters as like the blank canvas, and then you're dressing it up, so to speak, like in individual ways. Who might like walnuts? Who might like chips or whatever? That's
right.
great. I have to
Um,
share some. Oh, go ahead.
um, the only one that I was starting to get into because unfortunate mishappenings started occurring, you know, and that's another story within itself. I was just getting into making chocolate chip cookies. I was starting to do that as well. But
Did you say at age 8 you were starting to get into making cookies? Huh.
I'm not in. Wait a minute. How did you come up with age 8?
That's what I heard here.
That is not what you heard. I said I had I don't think I was 8 years old in 2011.
Oh, okay, this is, hey, Janet, you need more caffeine. Yay.
No, what I said was is I was getting into chocolate chip cookies, but unfortunate occurrences and happenings happen with me. You never want. We are. My dad and I go on vacation. I'll spell it out. I didn't want to say it, but I will.
No, 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 don't. No, no, don't expound on things you do not wish to talk about. That is the
Well,
last thing. This is supposed to be a show about happy stuff.
well, what occurred was not a happy thing on vacation.
Yeah. Okay. Well, why don't we leave that for a different show? Because this show is about happiness today.
I don't.
I mean, if I misheard you, forgive me. There is a 7-second lag, boys and girls out there. So sometimes things get lost in the translation. And if I'm on this side of the screen, I may hear like sounds and distortion that may make me think I'm hearing something else. So just so you know that. Okay, there you go. No, but I heard of a, you know what? This could be why I thought of this. One of my subscribers, Steve, recently mentioned to me that they shared a moment with their grandchild or something making cookies at age 8 or a cake. It was just so cute, the idea of that, because you're making, beyond memories, beyond cookies, you're making lifetime memories, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Which is really good.
The only thing I was doing at age 8 is I had just come from overseas to the United States. That's about the only thing that was happening. Let's see. An 8-year-old child, my mom is still overseas, an 8-year-old kid missing his mother. I'm here with my father. So that's
Yeah.
no, 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 but I No, I was well into my like age 36, 37 when I was doing these cookies, not a child. But there are a lot of things, because even as a child being in the kitchen and I was close to mom, there are a lot of things. I was observant. I would watch, and and that's how I learned how.
There's a network. I'm not saying the name of the network. Okay. It's a TV network that there's a time I was glued to. Let's just say that a lot of cooking occurs on that network. And the reason why I personally talk about this was a daily joy. The reason why I personally used to like adore watching that network because it brought back the feeling that you just kind of described of there's something so fun about being young, like a young kid or whatever, and watching your parents or your friends or your sister, older sister or brother, whatever, get in the kitchen and cook. I just love. I don't know about you doing that, but I wasn't there, but I could tell you for sure, like those memories of watching my mom and dad like get together cooking and shooting the breeze or whatever, especially on a Sunday. Or my oldest sister, she's the first one that was, baking the holiday cookies. And I just was fascinated back in the day with cookie cutters. I couldn't wait to see the Christmas tree shapes. Back then, those were the simple joys that I'm talking about. Those are the simple joys. We're going to go over to the comment section in a minute. But, like as far as like an everyday joy, this is an everyday joy for me. It's not that I like someone says to me, "Oh, you drink too much coffee." They only see me on videos and they're thinking that all I do is drink coffee because they see me with my cup of coffee that I like to have during the video. But I don't only drink coffee. Yes, I do like tea. Yes, I do drink water. And there's other things. But I guess if somebody's reviewing me on playback, they're thinking, "Oh, she's constantly drinking coffee," and it's not true. Ah, but coffee or hot chocolate or just the act of like sitting there and taking some me time. I think that's what it is. Now, Steve, regarding like the holiday season, do you have like any specific like favorite holiday movie, Christmas movie, or any holiday movie that brings you joy you like to watch every year?
Yeah, I mean, I still like some of your classics. Believe it or not, one of the ones that I like to watch is I do like a Charlie Brown Christmas. Believe it or not, I still like that. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, I like. Of course, we don't want to leave out Jimmy Stewart. Of course, I like Miracle on 34th Street, which is a oh, and then from my time frame, I think I was about 9 years old when this movie came out, A Christmas Story, with the little boy, the blonde hair, and
Right,
that one.
right. Yeah.
Um, I'm okay. I've seen it a lot of times. I'm okay with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Of course, we all know that one scene with Randy Quaid, but I won't
I
point
think everybody has somebody in their life like that. You have to understand the movie to understand the character that we're talking about, right?
right.
Kind of sort of like a mooch. Let me open up the comment section. Steve, do you see anybody on the comment section? Let's tap this.
Actually, yes, there's a couple.
Hey, good morning, Bandana Grandma. I want to personally apologize to you about that tiny mistake. But a tiny mistake maybe verbally, but in baking anything, baking is a science. So I did a correction video. For anybody that's viewing this, Bandana Grandma is the bomb. She has like all the answers to like good food, good recipes, just a very sweet, nice person. That's what I have observed all the time. So thank you. Yes, we're early.
Oh, I just happened to. I want to say good morning to Bandana Grandma and Arbach. It's funny. I'm looking at Arbach's comment. Her name is Rose, and she's drinking
Yeah.
coffee in a golden. Oh, what a coincidence, right? Betty White.
Yeah.
I definitely
Cool.
get that. Yeah.
Wow. Are you? Wow, that's so cool. Yes, Steve.
Well, I'm about to share a little trivia, if I may, about Golden Girls. Now, to think, we all know about Betty White. She played Miss Nymphette. I hope that's not too R-rated for the show, on Mary Tyler Moore's show. But when she was on, and they were doing the casting for the Golden Girls, Rue McClanahan was on there. She had gotten the script, but she was really interested in the part of Blanche. And Jay Sandridge, perhaps that name sounds familiar. He was involved in a lot of Rhoda and Mary Tyler Moore shows. He says, Rue, I want you to do something unorthodox. Go down the hall and read the role of Blanche and come back. So he did that. He liked what he saw, but he thought, well, if Betty White plays Blanche, it's going to be Sue Ann Nivens revisited. And why don't we switch the roles? So the role of Rose went to Betty White, and then Rue became Blanche, which I'm glad that happened.
It worked out for the good stuff.
And not only that, if the roles had stayed as they had it, B. Arthur had already turned them down 3 times. She says, I'm not interested in Maude and Vivian meeting, Sue Ann Nivens. She said, well, and this is Rue talking to her. No, B, it's not like that. I'm playing the vamp. She's playing the nitwit. So they all came in and read, and the rest is history. But if they had kept it as Betty White to play Blanche, the Golden Girls would have failed maybe after 5 episodes, because you're basically watching Sue Ann Nivens again, and you didn't want.
I think you're right. Rose, I just want to address that. Drinking coffee in your Golden Girls mug makes you happy. You see, it goes to show you don't need big. No. We are so caught up in a society of big numbers, big lights. But what happened to like the simple stuff? But you want to know the really truth? I really believe that most of us get our joy. Well, we know where we need to get our greatest joy. Mm-hmm. But beyond that, the earthly joys, okay? Really, at the end of the day, most of us really kind of like the simple stuff. I am very, very, very happy with my Santa Claus mug. I am very happy with that. I don't know why it sometimes doesn't get picked up. I love my Santa Claus mug. What I love about it is that it's not too big. It's not too small. It's shiny. I like my rectangular look to it. I know it's crazy. I know. So Bandana Grandma says, thank you for that, by the way. Bandana Grandma says, no problem about that little faux pas. It was sweet. It's wonderful of you to do the work that you do, as well as the wonderful people. And they need to know this. I love to watch Living on a Dime to Grow Rich every single day for the last 2.5 years. Why? Because they're good.
Yeah.
They know what they're talking about. And then, the times you've gone on there, visiting, it's just, we're so blessed to have this platform and so many wonderful, wonderful people. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yes. I like the shiny colors of this cup too.
Mug. I like it too. Yeah.
It's just, so I literally ate a Frankfurter for breakfast today because I wanted my protein fix. Does anybody out there get grumpy if they don't have enough protein in their diet? I know me. I can't just have let's have cereal at 6:00 and then let's have rice at 12:00. I wish I could be like one of those expensive. And I'm going to do a show talking about how to get protein that is not expensive. It may not be the fanciest. It may not be, what the doctor orders, but you can do certain things to help flip-flop health benefits, weigh out dangers and so on. I did have an orange after my Frankfurter. Every time I eat a Frankfurter, I learned many, many years ago, counter effects of nitrisamines is to have vitamin C. That's from the experts. So guess what? I listened to the experts a long time. So there you go. Yes.
I wanted to mention, you mentioned about a Frankfurter. Okay, I've got kind of an offspring of that. So one time I cooked myself some eggs. Now my favorite breakfast is scrambled eggs and bacon. But this one day I didn't have any bacon. I didn't feel like running out to get any. But I look in my refrigerator and I've got a pack of beef bologna. So what I did is I made my eggs Well, actually, let me reverse that. I did the bologna to give it a little bit of a smoked flavor, and that's where the eggs came in. So when you do the meat first and then do your eggs after, that smoky effect from the meat will go into your eggs.
That's great.
So a good alternative, if people have never done it, do some fried bologna. It's actually pretty good.
One day, thank you for saying that, Stephen. I'm really glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
One day, I don't know, I thought I had some stuff, whatever, and I had to fix my mom. She's now gone, unfortunately, but I had to fix her lunch and everything. And I worked with what we have. You know, when things are low, you work with what you have until you can replenish it, at the grocery store. And so that day, I happened to have the very thinly sliced, good quality though, nice, good quality bologna. And I said, let me try something. We never had this in our life. So I fried it up. It was really good. And we backed up with an orange, to kill any nitrites, whatever. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just sharing an experience that I have and seems to work for me. What is the weirdest thing anybody out there has ever eaten for breakfast? Hey, listen, if we can eat breakfast for dinner, why can't we have dinner for breakfast?
Mhm.
Just saying, just saying. Doesn't that make a little bit of sense, right? But I want to mention something about Steve. I don't know if I had a chance to mention this to you. In a few days, I'm going to talk more in depth about this. I created a report about 25 things about Jan from New York City that I will not share on YouTube. And basically, it's really a thank you. It's not like you're buying it. It is a thank you. Because as you know, one of my favorite agendas is to help people with food pantry issues, food bank issues, and I'd like to send an overall general contribution on a monthly basis to that or slash or both. It all depends on what happens. I'm trying to coordinate this. Also, another family favorite for me is Habitat for Humanity. A lot of people struggling with homelessness for years, and this current situation has not helped matters any at all whatsoever. Okay, so that's another one. The other one is St. Jude's, research and stuff like that. So I'm playing around with the direction of which I want to go with this. But once I release the report, it will only be a $2 donation towards that. Okay, and I would send once a month to these organizations. Many people want to help, but they don't have enough funds. But for the cost of $2, you get back from me. I will email to you my 25 things about Jan from New York City I will never talk about on YouTube. Just not going to do it. Just not going to do it. Barbara, I mean, not Barbara. Do I need my glasses? Sorry, bandana grandma. One of my favorite childhood memories was my friend and I frying bologna on her little hot plate toy stove. Oh, cute. Heated with a light bulb inside. It was yummy. Bandana grandma, I think I know the stove you may be talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Did it come with an oven that you kind of like get this, or maybe it's a separate thing, but that's fun. Isn't it fun? Memories were made.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet you every time you eat one of those sandwiches, somehow subconsciously you might be recalling that memory. Oh, Steve, did you ever see those little stoves when you were a kid? Like you could
Yeah.
actually like bake things?
Yeah.
So cute.
The one that I'm thinking of, I'm hoping that you and I are on the same page. You could get it in the toy section. It was My Little Love. I can't remember if it was like pink in color or if it was like a tan, or I can't remember, but I know I'm picturing it in my mind, and it was just as effective as a regular. It was like a toaster oven type ordeal, kind of, in a way.
I do understand. Yeah, you know, I don't remember the names offhand, but I do recall like images of things. And hey, listen, if childhood memories brings you joy, why not? There are so many things that could bring a person joy. I saw this unfortunate man in the street, and I say unfortunate. I don't mean monetarily unfortunate, because a person can have tons of money and still have unfortunate circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
He was just in absolutely the worst mood ever. Someone I know, an elderly friend, she's no longer with us, had asked for a tiny amount of help for that person. I was willing to help, but she preferred to have that young, strong, buxom person. help out, but he was in the most dreadful mood. And she said, "Can you do me a favor?" And he turned around and he said to my senior citizen friend that's no longer with us, he turned around, he said, just like this, "I'm all out of favors." I was like, whoa, what hit that person? I always consider this, and I think it's a great idea if maybe others might consider, what happened to that person 10 minutes ago that provoked such a reaction? And of course, my friend was so upset. I says, "I'm right here." I said, "I told you I'd help you." So eventually I did help her. And then she was like upset about what the gentleman said and everything. I said, and then we sat down, we had a cup of coffee. I said, "You know what? That person may be hurting right now for the way he treated you. Something really bad. It might have been an argument, whatever. Something that stole his joy. And he just like, you happen to be the person that was there." So I said, "Don't take it personally, pray for him, bless him and all that." And I'm sure that person might have felt, pretty badly about it. So with that in mind, like she, fluffed it off. I do miss my friend. And I'm glad I was there to help. But if someone who needs you and it's not the greatest time for you, I sometimes get some annoyance phone calls. I'm going to say it for what it is. It's an individual, a friend that I know a long time, but I'm not going to lie. I mean, I work during the day, and she wants to, converse about things that are not work related, that have to do with everything regarding her life, not respecting that I literally work. I'm going to look in the camera. People that understand this, people that work from home work. We may be home, but we work. So, but I was never rude or disrespectful to that person. So I would say things to the effect of, "May I call you back later?" Try to keep your cool. We're human. We get annoyed. Sometimes I don't mind the break. Okay. But to everything, a limit. And this is what I'm talking about today. Don't let certain things steal your joy. Life is too short. Look at last Christmas versus this one.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, are you I mean, are your plans like set for Christmas in general? You don't have to get specific, or are you still in the deciding stage like a lot of us are? Or
Honestly, at this point, I really don't know what's
okay,
going to happen.
okay,
I may just treat Christmas like another day, even though it's not.
right, right.
Last
Well, go ahead, Steve.
last year, like any other year prior, my sister, my brother-in-law, and my nephews would come down because they have a condo at the St. Augustine Beach, which is about an hour away. But because of the numbers of the virus, and the last time I spoke with my sister, she said depending on how that goes, that will maybe determine whether or not they come down or not. I still
Right,
haven't heard anything as of yet. Christmas is still 2 weeks away. Um,
right, right. Things
so
change, whatever.
at this point, I'm just treating it like it's another day.
And that's wonderful. And that's what I'm glad you said that, because, for example, next week, my sister mentioned about this cute little game idea about playing, virtual bingo with your friends and family, like on a Zoom type of a chat. So if you can't get together physically, you could get together virtually. So I'm going to do some research and dedicate one of my shows next week to fun, creative things we could do with our friends and family if we can't get to them directly. Steve, if you have to leave, I understand
I
if you're
do not.
getting it.
I
Okay,
do
just in
not. That
case.
is
Just in case. Okay. But something, we're pretty much going to wrap this up. But if there's anyone else out there who'd like to mention a simple joyful thing that happens during the holidays, things you like to do, or on an everyday basis, just mention it here. I will talk more about the, my goals that I would consider our goals, because some people really want to help out those organizations, but maybe $2, they feel is not going to do it. But if we put in $2 collectively, $2, $2, $2, I would like to, do this. And my thank you would be that report that I created. So it's just like a bonus thing for anyone that thinks about doing stuff like that. So, you know what? I'll give it another minute if anyone has another comment. And if, oh, wait, there's something I have to say before I forget. Tomorrow is going to be different. I'm going to have a live show at 10 o'clock tomorrow. And guess what? It's talking about old friends, new friends. One of my new friends happens to be a subscriber from my channel. You will get to see her. No, it's not Sharon. It's someone else. I'm going to leave it as a surprise. The other lady I know since 1979. So this is going to be so fun because these are not, fellow YouTubers. This is just not saying that YouTubers are not fun, but it's going to be something unusual, different. So I'd like to get some of my everyday folks on here and shoot the breeze. And we're going to talk about crafting. Jan from New York City is not a crafter. Jan from New York City has the gift of gab. I do not have the gift of crafting. I did make actually a few of those sock snowmen. They were cute, and a few friends of mine and family have them. But one turned out looking like what? Not a duck. Well, no, one looked like a duck snowman. Not that there's anything wrong with duck snowman, and a penguin snowman. That was not the intention. But if you have fun doing anything crafty, head on over to tomorrow's show. And some of you actually have seen the work from these two wonderful ladies. So I so look forward to tomorrow's live at 10 o'clock. Yeah. Hope you could get there. If you can't get there live, get there on playback. Well, you know what? I guess that pretty much does it for us today. Steve, thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. Mm-hmm. And wait a minute. Wait. I do see a couple of comments. I'm not running yet. Bandana Grandma says, your 2-year-old grandson is about to arrive. Oh, yes. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Have a blessed day. Awesome. Keep us posted. Thank you.
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning, Michigan lady. Good to see you guys.
Absolutely.
Good morning to everybody, actually, because,
Good morning, Olivia. Good morning. We have a couple of minutes. I conducted an experiment, and Steve was so kind to join me on this. Conducted an experiment to see how would it be to get on live really early in the day, a couple of times a week. This was my experimental week. I may run another experimental week or do this until the end of December just to see, okay, how it goes. You're making some Coke bottle bird feeders. Oh, cool. I never saw anything like that, Olivia. Be so kind and send me a picture one day. Good morning, Michigan lady. You have a great day. And I see a hey. There you go. I'm so glad that we didn't leave yet. I would have hated to have missed your comments. I apologize. Listen, everyone out there, have a great day, no matter what time of the day you're viewing this. Thank you for your kindness in visiting this channel. All right, Steve, thank you for being here. Mm-hmm. And I look forward for you guys coming back tomorrow to meet my friends, both old and both new. Love you. Have a great day.